Hey guys, back at it. Today I'm going to be reviewing Predators 2010 movie starring Adrian Brody as Royce. We got Alicia Braga as Isabel, Topher Grace as Edwin. I don't even really recall them saying his name in the movie. I don't think he even introduced himself. Walter Goggins as Stans. Marshala Zala, Ali as Mubasa, and we got Lawrence Fishburne, Danny Trejo. I probably won't mention those guys too much. Luis Chang Chen, yeah. And I'm looking at the Predators right now, and these guys are like 6'5", 6'7". The original guy that played Predator was five. No, I'm sorry, was 7'3". And I've noticed that, like watching this movie, the Predators, they're not like as imposing as in the previous movies, which kind of takes away. And I just don't really like their design either. The design of these predators, I don't know, it just doesn't really do it for me. They don't really look, I mean, they look more like advanced, but when you have like this one predator that's just like bare bones, no armor or anything, he really doesn't look as good as the predators from the previous movies. And I really don't like the way the new predator from Prey looked either. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. A lot of the time. Uh, with that being said, I'll start out with the first time I saw this movie. So I was living in South Central Westmont. What streets was that? It was Figueroa and what is that? Manchester. I was a couple of blocks south of Fig and Manchester. And this guy, he was selling bootleg movies, 3 for $5. This was, in the, I think I got it right when the movie probably it was like right when it was coming out. So I got this and two other movies. I actually still have the bootleg of this today. It was good quality. Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember what the other movies were. I guess they weren't that good. I think one of them might have been that X-Men movie, X-Men First Class, that came out at around the same time as this. And the third movie couldn't have been that good. So let me see. So yeah, I watched it. I've always been a really big fan of the first two Predator movies. And the first time I saw it, I was disappointed, of course, but I still thought it was pretty decent. When I saw The Predator, whatever the 2019 movie was called, I almost walked out of that movie. So, this one was passable at the time. Since I've been reviewing all these Predator movies, I've went back and watched them. Um, when I went back and watched this, it wasn't as good as I remember it being. And now that I'm really like analyzing it, I think I will actually go with Prey being a better movie. With this movie, I really didn't like any of the action scenes. Now that I'm looking back at it, most of the movie is good because I'm a really big Adrian Brody fan. His portrayal of Royce, it's really good. I'm actually going to say that he's my favorite protagonist in any of the Predator movies. I can't think of any other characters, especially main characters, that I like more than Royce. I really like the brother in Ajabe. I shouldn't even have tried to said it without hearing someone else say it first. Yeah, I was gonna try it again, but yeah, I really liked Royce in this movie. Um, when you look at what he has to deal with, there's a scene in the movie to where the whole full group they go and they get to higher ground so they can kind of see where they are exactly, and come to find out they are on a alien planet, and they can see other planets like fairly close by. It almost looks like a couple of the planets, even though I'm sure they're way bigger than the moon. It almost looks like they're closer to whatever planet they're on is than our moon, or I guess maybe since it's so big. Anyway, you can see planets really close up. There might even be two suns, from what I can remember. I just couldn't imagine. When the movie starts, they wake up in free fall, then they land, they meet everybody, they, form their little team, and then they see that. I mean, it couldn't be more than like a few hours after they got to the planet or after they woke up in free fall, and could you guys imagine being in a situation like that to where you're waking up in free fall and then you realize you're on another planet and I just couldn't imagine like how I would react to that. That's like you know, and that's basically like my worst nightmare. So yeah, when you look at the situation that the guy's in, I feel like he handles it very well. You gotta kind of look at it from a kind of cynical perspective and be like, there's a strong possibility I'm never going to see Earth again. So I mean, what do you do? And this character, you could say he was like selfish and like about himself, but I mean, he doesn't know these other people. They're all in the military and kind of weird and stuff. I see myself if I were to be in his situation. I'd probably be similar to him. Uh, and yeah, the movie's basically the first Predator movie. The only real difference is there's three predators and they're not on Earth. Other than that, it's a predator picking off three predators picking off everyone one by one. Uh, and since there's more predators, we see, except for the last predator, all the other predators got taken out. It was almost like a suicide bomber take out this guy. He has a claymore on his chest, and the predator stabs him in the stomach. He opens up like the claymore, and I guess it goes off, and it kills one of the predators. The other predator, he gets into a sword fight with this. Um, I guess he's like a member of like the Yakuza, and he goes toe to toe with the predator and kills him with a sword. And you see something like that. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he went head up with a predator, and the predator just, he was no match for him. Danny Glover, he's a pretty big dude. I'm assuming he's around like 6'3", 6'4". He kind of had to use his street smarts, and, like play dead in order to beat the predator. And then this guy, he just kind of goes toe to toe with him. He's under 6 feet tall. He's like slender build. They don't really say. I mean, the guy's Asian, And I mean, they don't say that he's, like a master at using like swords. So, I mean, if they showed him and he's like a master swordsman, I could believe it. But, with the size differential and everything, I don't know, man. The size and the speed differential and the strength, yeah, it's just kind of hard to believe. So yeah, that's really the main difference. Is they're just on another planet, and there's three predators instead of just one. This movie, my favorite scenes. I like how it starts in free fall, and there's a lot of mystery. Or like, who did that to them? I mean, who would do that? Also, um, and yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes. Because it leads to the mystery of like why they're there. And then I didn't really care for the action too much in this movie. Also, just really all Adrian Brody scenes. The main scene that I really like is when Topher Grace, and I'm gonna go back to this scene, but Topher Grace, he used this liquid that was coming from a plant, and he used it to like paralyze one of the soldiers. The soldier he paralyzed, he broke down like he was I guess a serial killer, and that's his thing. He really likes being there because he sees himself as a monster, as being a serial killer, and the predator, he sees them as monsters. So I guess he's comfortable being on this foreign planet. Anyway, so he paralyzes her with the nectar from the plant, and then he's breaking down everything. Adrian Brody comes up on them. They're in this pit that the predator puts them in towards the end of the movie. And Adrian Brody, he's just kind of like standing there. I guess maybe you heard some of what Adrian Brody was saying. Anyway, Adrian Brody, he tells him, hey, help. I guess he didn't hear enough. Adrian Brody tells him, hey, help us get out of this pit. So Topher Grace helps him get out of the pit. Adrian Brody is breaking down like to the lady that he helped get out of there, you're a good person, but you kind of have to worry about yourself. And then Topher Grace's character goes to stab Adrian Brody, and he kind of knows that it's coming, so he turns around and stabs him in the stomach, and he tells him, he's not a good guy, but he's fast. That's probably like my favorite scene in the whole movie. Some of the things that I thought was kind of funny in the movie. Lawrence Fishburne's character. I don't really get like what his plan was. It's like I get like he's like a scavenger, but like he lures them. He goes and finds them, brings them back to his the place he'd been staying. He talks to them and everything, I guess, to make them feel at ease, but the conversation is, not really up to par. He comes off as crazy. Then he goes to another side of the room. I guess there's some way for him to get out of the room in that, like a trap door or something, in that, or like a hidden door where he was laying down. He goes and starts a fire, and he's gonna smoke these people out. So everyone that he's in the room with, they all have like a military background, and he leaves like countless weapons in there with him. When he finds them, before he leads them back, the guy, he has like this armor on that like cloaks him, and also he has this weapon. he doesn't take those things when he's is like enacting his plan. So it's like you don't. I think he leaves it with them, almost as like a gift. And he tries to do that. It's like they could use the weapon. I don't know if it works or not. He doesn't, or yeah, he does use the weapon, and it was really powerful. I can't imagine why he would leave that behind. I realize that he's gone crazy. He said he'd been there for 10 seasons. We don't know how long a season is. I'm going to assume it can't be more than like a couple of days, but, um, and at the same time, I don't think he realizes how long he'd been there, also, anyway. But yeah, and Adrian Brody, he shoots out like a part of the ship. I'm assuming with like a grenade or something like that, and it like breaches the ship. Lawrence Fishburne hightails it out of there, and when he does, he just kind of goes running. A predator sees that they're inside the ship. Predator boards the ship, and the first thing the predator does is he sees them, and then he just blows them away, and he just turns into like a liquid. But it just doesn't. His plan, it just doesn't. It didn't make any sense. Another person's plan that doesn't really make sense is Topher Grace's character. So he's in this pit with the lady, um, and I guess the reason why he paralyzes her, and it almost seems like he's going to kill her. I guess he's going to do that in order to like give sacrifice or show that he's a predator too to the aliens. But the aliens, the predators, they have like this code of conduct. So, I mean, you paralyzing someone and killing them, I can't really imagine them like thinking too highly of you for doing that. And I mean, you're just prey, dude. They're not going to see you as one of them because you stabbed somebody in the back, So, I mean, I can't imagine like what he would be thinking they were going to do to him. I would think they were going to just kill me, but that's just me. Uh, Another thing that was very underwhelming in this was the Predator versus Predator fight. It was terrible. Um, every time they hit each other, there was a like blue, like little like energy flash, and that just really didn't like. I just I didn't get it, and you could almost say it was maybe like a force field, but they were feeling the blows, and they didn't do that in any other movie. So it kind of almost came off as like cheesy. It's like, why are they doing that? Yeah, very underwhelming. First Predator versus Predator fight. What else? Another thing that was kind of dumb. Adrian Brody at the end of the movie, I guess to almost like be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he put on the mud, and Alien Brody's a pretty petite dude. His delts, you can see he kind of put on some mass with his delts, but he's a pretty petite guy. And he took his shirt off and he put mud on himself in order to mask himself from the predator's heat vision. There's only one problem with that. They never established that the predator saw like an infrared or like heat vision. So why would he do that? It didn't make any sense whatsoever. And then he used like gunpowder to make like a fire around, and there's nothing that would make him in the movie. I can't think of anything that would lead him to think that the predators didn't have like normal vision for him to do that. It really made no sense. After watching this movie again, ranking the Predator movies, I originally had this above Prey, but yeah, Prey is going to be my third favorite Predator movie. This is going to be the fourth. So it's the first Predator, Predator 2, Prey, Predators, and then The Predator. Yeah, I watched this again, and I guess, the nostalgia and everything, it didn't hit like it did. I think I watched this movie before this time, like 3 or 4 years ago. I thought it was good, but I think it was right after I saw The Predator, so yeah, that's probably why. I'm like, it was better than that dumpster fire. Um, The Predator is the next movie that I had intended to review, but man, I can't even like get through that movie. I guess I could watch it to like crap on it or whatever, but it's like at the same time, I don't know if anyone wants to see me just poop on a movie for 15 minutes. But yeah, what else? Or yeah, oh, well, I guess I could do the Alien versus Predator movies and then go back to Predators like in the future. I don't know. Well, let me know, guys, if you want to see more or whatever. I guess I'll end it there. Thanks for coming to my live. Over and out.